Hello all, welcome to channel Tech Tutorials Learn by Doing. In this tutorial series, we'll learn about Python from beginner to advanced along with the projects. Now, let's get started for today's tutorial. In this tutorial, we'll learn about tuple. Let me create new file for the tuple tutorial and give name as tuple data type. And let me add the configuration also. New one, Python tuple, and script path is tuple data type. Tuple data type. Tuple is similar to the list, but we cannot modify the value that is present in the tuple. Tuple is generally used to store our protected data. We can denote the tuple by using small bracket notation. For example, courses tuple equals to small bracket and AWS Python gate. All the thing was similar to the list, but instead of big bracket, here we have small bracket. Then let me give new tuple as rating tuple. Rating tuple equals to 2.3, 2.9, 3.7, and mix tuple equals to AWS, it is a string, 2.3 it is float, 3 it is integer. Then let me write the dictionary also, name as teechtutorial. Then let me also add set here, Python AWS. Let me give the list also, value 1 and value 2. You can see that the tuple is specified by using small bracket and the item of tuple are separated with comma, and we can use any valid data type that is present in the Python. For example, here we have used string only separated by comma. Here you have used numeric value only separated by comma, and you have here we have used string value, numeric value, dictionary value, said value, and list value separated by the comma. Let's try to print these values. Print courses tuple, print rating tuple, and print mix tuple. If we run it, then we can see the value of the tuple. We can see that our first tuple has been printed, second tuple has been printed, and third tuple also has been printed. Now let us learn about the functions or methods that are present for the tuple data type. Function and method. Tuple supports all the function and methods of list data type except for those which modify the values of tuple itself. Since tuple is immutable in nature, the function that modify the value of tuple is invalid, but rest of the function is valid. Let us try it one by one. First is index function. Versus tuple 0. If you print that, then it will print the value that is present in index 0. Here it is AWS, so AWS will be printed. AWS has been printed, and it also supports the negative indexing. So if you write -1, then it will be printed. We can see that grid has been printed, and if you want the value of this value 1, then it is present at the last position. So last position is this list, and of this list it is present at the first index or zeroth index, so that first it will extract last item and afterward zeroth item, so that value 1 will be printed of this mixed tuple. Value 1 has been printed. After index, let us learn about slicing. Slicing for tuple is similar to the slicing of string and list data type. It is used to extract certain items from the tuple. For example, if you are to extract Python and Git, we can use slicing. Print mix tuple is at index 1. So all the element starting from index 1 till the end. Let me comment this one first. It is of the courses tuple. Courses tuple. So Python and Git has been printed. If you are to specify this 2.3 and 2.9, then it will start from the first position until 0th 1, and since 1 is exclusive, we have to write 2. So this is from the writing tuple. So 2.3 and 2.9 has to be printed here. We can see that 2.3 and 2.9 has been printed. After slicing, next function is repetition. It is similar to the string or the list function that we have learned in our previous tutorial. It is used to repeat the value that is present in the list. For example, if you print rating tuple into 2, then it will print 2.3, 2.9, 3.7, and again 2.3, 2.9, and 3.7. If you use courses tuple into 2, then it will print AWS Python Git, AWS Python Git, AWS Python Git, AWS Python, and Git. After repetition, let us learn about len. Len function is used to calculate the number of items that is present in the tuple. For example, let me print len and courses tuple. Since it contains 3 items, it should print the value of 3. 3 has been printed. Let me calculate the length of next tuple. 6 has been printed. First item is AWS. This is second. This is third. This whole is fourth. This is fifth. And this one is 6. So there are 6 items. So 6 has been printed. After this, let us learn about join operator. Similar to the string and Python, string and list in Python that we have learned earlier, it is used to join the item of list by specified separator. For example, if you are to join the value of AWS, Python, and Git by dash, then you have to use dash dot join and name of tuple. To print AWS dash Python dash Git, we can specify any separator as our desired dot dot dot. So it will print AWS dot 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 Python dot dot Git. After join, let's learn about index. Index is used to find the position of the occurrence of a specified item in the tuple. For example, courses tuple dot index Python. Since Python is at first index 0, 1, it will return value 1. Let's write value 1. Now let us know about the count method. Count method is used to count the number of occurrence of specified item in the tuple. For example, print courses tuple that count Python. Since the Python has occurred one time, it should return the value 1. We can say that 1 has been printed. Let us count the value Java. Since Java is not present here, it should return 0. 0 has been printed. And if there was two AWS values, AWS, Python, Git, AWS, and if we were to count AWS, then it should return the value 2, since the AWS has repeated here 2 times. After count operator, let us learn about the containment. Containment is used to check if the item is present in the tuple or not. If item is present in the tuple, then it will return the value true. Otherwise, it will return the value false. For example, print AWS in courses tuple. Since AWS is in courses tuple, it will return true. And if you try to say Java in courses tuple, since Java is not present in courses tuple, it will return false. You can see that false has been returned. If you try to use the functions or method that modifies the tuple, then it will return error. For example, in list, that append method was used to add the value at end of the list. But if you try the same method for the tuple, it will return error. We can see that it has written error because this append method, it will add the value in the original tuple, and since tuple is immutable in nature, this type of function is not allowed. The other functions that are not allowed are clear, right? Invalid functions, here is invalid since it clears the tuple. Then append is also invalid since it add values to the tuple. Pop is also invalid since it removes the value from the tuple. Insert is also invalid since it adds the value tuple. Remove is also invalid since it removes the value from the tuple. Extend is also invalid since it tries to add two tuples together. Other some valid functions are sum, print sum, getting tuple. Here sum is 3 to 5 to 7, and this is 8 point something, 9 point something. Let me remove this one. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 point something. So it should print 8 point something. It is not trying to modifying anything, so this sum is valid. Let me try to find minimum value. It should return 2.3, 2.3, and max should return 3.7. You can see that 3.7 has been written. So in the summary, tuple is similar to the list data type, but it is used to store protected data since the data of tuple cannot be modified, and it supports all the functions from the list data type, but except for those functions that tries to modify the content of tuple itself. If you are to add more values to the tuple, then we can specify like this one: rating tuple equals to rating tuple plus 4.6 and 6.7, and print rating tuple. Completely overwriting this value and assigning to this tuple, so it is valid. So if you are to add more values to the tuple, then we have to specify like this: original tuple plus the new value that are going to be added. So this is for it today, guys. If you like my video, keep like button and subscribe to my channel so that you do not miss our future tutorials. Thank you.